Well, good evening, hockey fans. Welcome to tonight's Eugene Generals Hockey Network broadcast. Hope you guys are all hearing me loud and clear. More importantly, seeing the picture crystal clear as well, wherever you may be watching tonight. So happy to have you along as the Generals and Junior T-Birds kick off a two-game set here at the Rink Exchange. Again, Alex Stinson along with you here in the heart of the Emerald Valley. Give us a shout out on YouTube Live, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram for that matter. But we'd love to see you on that YouTube chat, letting us know where you're watching from, who you're watching with, and perhaps most importantly, who you're rooting for in tonight's contest. As the Generals and Junior Thunderbirds face off for the third time this season, the Generals sweeping a short-staffed Junior Thunderbirds team about a month ago, earlier in December. A couple of big wins, 6-0 and 9-2, if my memory serves correct. But a very thin bench as the Junior Thunderbirds were plagued by injuries on that first trip. They are much more robust on their return here to Eugene. Want to give a quick shout out here, hearing from Liam Myers' grandma, Elaine Myers. Unfortunately can't be here tonight, but her cowbell made the trip from what I hear and ranked for her family sports for over 50 years. Get well, Grandma Myers, watching up in Portland. Michael Myers is here cheering on and shaking that cowbell for you. So great to hear already from some of the Snow King families. Again, would love to hear it from you throughout the evening. Again, Miss Timchison, who, again, I know I'm already butchering that out of the gate, but please keep me honest. I really appreciated your hooked on phonics that you were giving over the airwaves last weekend. Starting lineups here today for the Generals. Skylar Larson is going to get the start in net. In front of him on the blue line, Dakota Henn and Jacob Rhodes. Meanwhile, the forwards for the Gens, Minchin, Friesen, and Bailiff. Don't quite have the starters up here yet for the visiting Junior T-Birds. We'll try to keep an eye on the ice for when they get underway. A little bit of a stoppage here, not quite sure why. Hear from a couple of folks already. My man John Bauman tuning in. John, always great to hear from you, and good to be back as well. Thank you. I want to give a shout out to Isaac Rosenthal, who filled in for me last weekend as I was mingling with the fans and evaluating some of our game operations a bit. A great series last weekend, albeit in frustrating fashion it ended for the Generals. A 2-0 loss and a 7-6 loss to the visiting Portland Junior Winterhawks. Winterhawks have won all 4 meetings against the Gens this season. All of them have come by 2 goals or less. 1 shootout, 1 one-goal game, and 2 two-goal games. So again, waiting to get underway here. Just to get on your radar, some issues with the ZAM to start the game early. As our friends from Pape Kenworth, a proud sponsor here of the Eugene Generals, are going to be on their way out to try to fix it. So we're going to actually play the first period on quote-unquote dirty ice. It was a short 10-minute warm-up, so the ice not too bad. Something to keep in mind, but as I look out on the ice now, the referee's actually taking the nets off of their moorings, at least to our left. And get a quick look at that. It looks like that is Toby Wolf. I could be wrong. Coming up in the first intermission as well, if and when we get to the first intermission, we'll have a scrimmage featuring the 8U Junior Gens. We'll, of course, stay live for that. So we're going to stoppage of some sort. Easy for me to say, and I'm not quite sure what the holdup is out here on the ice, as both the nets are on their pegs. The referees are out there on the ice. And now Larson skating over to the bench as well. The referee's just kind of hanging out. It looks like we're waiting almost for somebody to arrive, but I'm not quite sure who that would be. Referee skating over to the benches now. And apparently there's an issue with the ice. I do see one of the refs over here to the left continually, slowly but surely, kind of just carving up a piece of ice with his blade. All right, and with that, good welcome, or good evening, welcome, oh, whatever. Well, we're underway here at the Rink Exchange. Generals and Snow King Jr. Thunderbirds facing off here. Apologies for the delay. The referees not thrilled with the big pile of snow that was in the corner that both teams were frankly totally okay with, but hey, we won't get caught up in the details. Folks, happy to have you along with us here on EGHN. Again, let us know where you're watching from, who you're watching with, and most importantly, who you're rooting for today. This one trickles all the way out of the zone. It goes down. Icing is waved off. And racing back is Dakota Hen to pick it up. Hen a little bit of trouble. Right there with him is Tim Chashin. Back over to Hen. Hen scoots past one. He'll bring it up the far wing now. And into the neutral zone. He'll cross the center line and just dump it into the corner. Hung up back behind the net. A couple of bodies bash over to Boyven. It just gets just past his tape. Nice centering pass there from Minchin. Alligator armed a little bit there by Boyven, but Boyven has made tremendous strides this season. Klamath Falls native. And there's Shannon cheering on Seattle. Glad to hear. Great to hear from the Seattle fan base tuning in. Again, Shannon, please keep me honest on that last name pronunciation. Chim Shish Chish in. We'll say it over and over. Whistle here, and we will head back down out of the zone. Mark Code chiming in. Jennifer Clark, Alaska is watching, cheering on Clarkey. He had a big game last time out. 2 goals against the Portland Junior Winterhawks. And again, one of the most thrilling games we've had here in a while. 7-6 shootout. First 2 periods went back and forth quite literally. Every time the Generals scored, Portland would answer right back. And ultimately, Portland able to hang on for the 7-6 win in the series finale. So again, the 3rd time Seattle and Eugene facing off this season as this goes into the corner. Taken by Anderson, who feathers it through everybody, and it goes harmlessly over to the far side. Code runs out of real estate on the far side, but it is taken out of the zone. First one to get there is Anderson, who backhands it off the boards in front of his own net. Scooped up, though, by Arbolonsky. He dumps it in deep. Wood gets there, but Arbolonsky scoops it up along the wall, tries to get it down to Code as Arbolonsky and Wood have their horns tangled down over in front of that urgent care logo. Shout out to Mitch Bariskin. Taken up and cleared by Seattle. A couple more shout outs to get to as Hen tries to handle this, but pits her right there with him in his hip pocket. It trickles over to the far side. Arbolonsky tries to get it out, can't do it on the first effort, but he gets it back on the second, third effort. He's got short over here on the near side. Arby just brings it in himself. Loses possession. It's wrapped around by Seattle over to the near side. Short will try to get there first. It's poked out by Anderson, taken back by Rhodes. Rhodes in short, bit of miscommunication. It's thrown up ahead along the near wall, taken right back out of the zone. Racing back is Jacob Rhodes. Rhodes back in his own zone, slides it to his deep partner Hen. He'll shuffle his feet back behind the net, returns the favor over to Rhodesy, and Rhodesy will bring it up out of the zone. Pass, dangerous one, and is broken up, held in. This one trickles over to Myers. Unable to get it to his forehand, though, but he does shovel it deep and then gets sandwiched by a pair of white jerseys on the near side. Here is Clark. Clark gets it up to Hennon through the neutral zone. Hennon across the logo, gets it back out to Clark on the wing. Clark gets past one, gets past another. Not enough room on the wraparound, though, but a penalty coming up, it looks like. Here comes Clark, tries to wiggle through everybody over to Matthew, fires! That save made by number 35, Teddy Fisher. So Fisher in net today. A couple more shout-outs to get to. Paul Larson, Sky-Fi, the Iron Curtain guy. Love it. Shout out to Paul Larson watching from Bend, Oregon tonight. Lori Vinci, the 14U Blue Junior Gens, watching from Bend as well. Great day of hockey with Bend in the building, facing off against the 10U and 12U teams. And again, we have the 8Us coming up at intermission for a cross-ice scrimmage. Always great to hear from Lori. Of course, though, the Vinci family presence is sorely missed here at the rink exchange. A couple more folks to get to at the next stoppage of play. This puck trickles over into the far corner, taken over by Hen. Hen slides it out to Bauman. Bauman, top of the near circle, feathers it towards the net. Fisher, kick save. A save off the shoulder of Fisher. Couldn't find the rebound as it went airborne. Comes back down, and it's Clarkey. Clarkey slides it out now to Bauman. He'll walk the line slowly, sachets his way down over to Arbolowski. Arbolowski now at the near point. Cuts inside, fakes out, gets it to Bauman. Bauman fires. Rebound in front, still loose. A couple of good saves by Fisher, and it's rocketed out of the zone. That should be an icing. No, I guess a kind of deflection here, so Larson will hold it up. Arbolowski, the first one to get there. Myers is right there with him as well. Arby leaves it off for Bauman. Called for the icing. I foolishly forgot we're already on the power play here. And so the Generals with the extra man. 1:15 left on the Gens power play. Here's Hen. He evades a couple. He'll get it to the top of the near circle. Thought about dropping it off to Arby, but instead continues to head and squirts back behind the net. Throws it over to Arbolowski. Arbolowski near side tries to thread the needle, but he misses that top near corner, and it goes up and out of play. So hearing from Shannon Timchishin, watching from BC, Canada, as I write down the phonetic spelling that she sent me for a moment. And then also, I feel like I'm always hearing from Rick for some beautiful, beautiful shoreline. Rick mentioned watching from Bucarius, Mexico. Go Generals. I know I missed the pronunciation on that. Great to hear from you, Rick, and great to hear from everybody that's chiming in so far today. Here's Hennen. He picks it up over to Code. Code gets it right back after a redirection, and he enters the zone over to the far side. Code with it still on his tape, squirts back behind, now over to the near corner. He'll go to the top of the circle, 35 seconds left on the Generals power play. Feathers it towards the far side, save made by Fisher, and a good one. Nice redirect to the back door. Didn't get a number on that, but it is cleared. 28 seconds left in the Generals power play. Coming back to get it is Minchin. He'll skip past one. Nice little hesitation move right there. Trouble getting it back to his forehand, but he does. Tries to get it out to Hennen. Hennen gathers it from back behind. He'll enter the zone now, sets up shop at the near point, drops it off for Code. Code walks in. He's got Hennen right there with him. He shoots. Save made off the shoulder of Fisher. Back to Rhodes. Rhodes has it now down to Code. Code walks in at that far dot, gathers, gets past one, can't get past the second, and it's poked up, but not out. Rhodes able to get there just in time as Jenkins comes out of the box. We're back to even strength. He'll race right towards the bench, though, so still almost with the extra attacker for a moment. Leaking out, though, and almost a breakaway opportunity, but instead the Generals pounce, and now a 3-on-2. Minchin cuts inside. He shoots. Excellent looking shot, but the blocker save made, and it's out of play. So again, thanks for hanging with us here, folks. Apologies for the bit of a late start here. Issues with the Zamboni earlier, blowing a hydraulic line, so we're actually probably going to get the second period started late. I'll get to more of that actually when we get underway, but that just means more time for us to watch the 8U Junior Generals. Here's a nice little pocket pass here. I believe that was Pitzer on the feed. He couldn't quite link up with Powers. Hearing from Jim Powers just a moment ago. We'll get to a couple more shout-outs in a moment. Here is Bauman who scoops it up now. He hustles his way in front of the Generals bench. He'll scoot his way into the attacking zone. Good job by Anderson, though, using his body to just bump the puck off of Bauman. Wrapped over here to the near side. Boyvin's there with a good stick to force the turnover. Powers throws it off the glass, but it takes a Generals bounce. Gathered by Clark. Clark hands it off to Dunn. Dunn rockets it off the glass, but it catches the backside of short, and it goes back behind where Edmonds plays it. Edmonds along the near side now. He's got Anderson in front. That's who he tries to get it to. Can't link up. It should be an icing, and it is. We'll head back to our right. Jim Powers watching from Everett, Washington. Shout out to Everett. Shout out to the Silver Tits cheering on Garrett Powers. And we mentioned earlier, I want to make sure that she hears it. Shout out to Elaine Myers, number 2, Liam Myers' grandmother. Got a nice note here from Michael Myers, Liam's father, saying, unfortunately, Grandma can't be here tonight, but her cowbell made the trip. It has ranked for her family sports for over 50 years. And I actually saw it as well, saw Mr. Michael Myers, and he held up the cowbell proudly, I might add. And adding Get Well Grandma Myers in Portland, and Michael Myers sending that note, but on behalf of all of us here in the Generals family, our best wishes to Grandma Myers as well. And thanks for all the Seattle family members that are here in attendance. Great to have some rival fans down here as Hen cuts through a sea of blue jerseys but can't get past the final one. Hennon tries to chop it in, but it is cleared. More on that stuff in a moment. Great to hear, though, from the Seattle fans. Here's Batson, who tries to walk in. Good job defensively. Now here comes Arbolowski the other way. He's able to get past Myers. Rhodes stays on. And now Arby tries to fire it at the net, but Myers having none of that. He makes the save at point-blank range. And then a nice hard hit on Arbolowski here on the near side. A little close on the elbowing there, but a ref right on top of it. And the arm stays down. Outlet pass right up to Myers, hits him right on the back of the tape, and he collects it nicely as he scoots up into the attacking zone. He'll fire, save made by Larson, and Larson covers it up. We got a big shout-out coming up, not just any big shout-out, a big Wisconsin shout-out coming. Carol Roysum chiming in. Great to hear from the Roysum contingency, as always. Great to finally meet them, actually, last month during the team's trip to the NA3 Showcase in Minnesota. It was great to put a lot of faces to names, actually, while we were out there. Had a great time seeing the Manthe family as well. Manthe family showing up in big force. But a shout out right back to you, Mrs. Roysum, and I hope you guys are all enjoying tonight's broadcast so far. Still scoreless here. Generals have had a couple of good chances out of the gate, including on the first power play. Here is Bauman, who fires, save made, and then Fisher quickly covers it up. We'll have a face-off coming up in the Gens attacking zone. Caught up in the feet of Bauman, and it is cleared inadvertently, so he'll go back and handle it. And now taken right back by Jenkins. Jenkins slips it up and out of the zone. Manfield trying to track it down, but Jenkins is the first one there. He and Pitzer reset back in the defensive zone for the junior T-Birds. That one taken right back by the Gens. Here's Hen, thought about giving it out to Dunn. Nice little touch pass to find Manthe. He'll try to advance it, and it goes right back to Snow King. Junior T-Birds regroup again. Long stretch pass looking to find Pincer. Gamble right there by Hen to pitch down, worked out, but now coming the other way. Here's Pitcher on the backhand, tries to jam it in on the near side, can't quite do it. And it's back over now to Clark. Over to the near side in the corner now. The Rowdy corner a little tame tonight by their standards, but great to see them in attendance and a good crowd here at the Rink Exchange as well. We get a whistle, stoppage of play. See a general player down. I don't think any penalties were called, just a dead puck. Heading, though, without his helmet here. So nobody heads to the sin bin there. And we're going to face off to the left of Larson. Hennon is asked politely to leave the circle, and so Alex Clark will come in. Face-off shoots back to the far point and lifted back in by number 93, Garrett Powers. Into the near corner now. Rhodes backhands it over to Hen. Hen scoops it up. He'll just sauce it up and out of the zone. Right trajectory to find Nick Short, who was streaking down the near side, but it's intercepted by the glove of a Seattle T-Birds player. Now coming back the other way. Powers inside, tries to find Batson. Couldn't quite do it. Powers gets it back, though. Turnover by the Gens. Puck dangerously in the slot. Still loose. We got a penalty coming up, and it's going to go against the Gens. So the first power play of the day here for Seattle, and it comes to the 11-14 mark as Calvin Hennon heads to the box. So we'll see what the Snow King power play can do. And I believe I've been saying Batson. I beg your pardon, it is Butson. The big fellow Pitzer will take the draw. And this stick just locked up with Arbolowski. It does come out to the far point, though. Over to Butson. Butson at the top of the circle. Gives it back down below over to Pitzer. Pitzer trying to force a cross-ice pass, just couldn't quite thread that needle, so Butson races back as Snow King forced to regroup. flips it back over to Pitzer. Now Pitzer will gallop up into the attacking zone. Good stick, though, by the big fella Devin Dunn along the near wall. Generals still work to get it out of the zone. Arbolowski jostling on the near side. It goes out to Butson, but Butson gloves it down and keeps it in. He drops the shoulder, tries to get around Arbolowski, hands it off back to Pitzer. One-timer from Jenkins, in and out of the shins of Code, but held in at the far point. Over to Powers now in the far corner. Powers going to work. Dunn jostling with Anderson in front of that. Here is Pitzer, wanted to tee it up. Looked like he just couldn't quite handle it, though, on the pass. It's back to Butson. Code stretching out, almost catching a blade on it, but just missing. Back to Pitzer in the very high slot. Looking for a cross-ice pass. Save made. Rebound in front. And it gets over Larson. And the captain lights the lamp early. Anderson fired up. The smallest guy on the ice is the biggest presence known here in the early going. 10-16 is the mark, and it's the visiting junior Thunderbirds who score early, 1-0. The Generals looking strong in the early going, named on the penalty kill, but not able to clean up the trash in front. Shannon's liking what has happened there, so Snow King takes the early 1-0 lead after the Generals probably, where I'm standing, controlling play about 60-40 if I had to put a number on it. But hey, it's the number on the scoreboard that matters the most, and it's the junior Thunderbirds who take the 1-0 lead. Over to Hen at that far point. He'll feather it down. Arbolowski looking for Code. Back to Hen. A clapper. That one goes well wide. Scooped up by Wood. Wood enters the zone. And he's bumped off the puck. Hen gets it, flips it out, over to Bailiff. Bailiff on the far side, one-touch pass to Hen. Here comes Hen the other way. He's got a step. Hen looking to level the score. Shooting and saving is Fisher. And getting in alone, had a junior Thunderbirds player right in his hip pocket. That might have been enough to alter him a little bit there. Still, though, excellent save by Fisher. Meanwhile, it goes all the way down the other way. Larson covers it up, and we get a whistle. So 8:58 left here in the first period, 1-0 the score. And again, 8U scrimmage coming up here for the junior Generals at intermission. It'll probably be a bit of a long intermission as, again, unfortunately, a hydraulic hose breaking after warm-ups here at the rink exchange, and that could get things very messy very quick out on a sheet of ice here. And so our friends from Pat Bay Kenworth, who are a very great sponsor of ours, actually on their way en route to fix it. What I understand, they're about to start working on it right now. So the kind of contingency is, well, how long exactly will that take? And so the 8U scrimmage, long story short, might go a little bit long here as we get the junior gents out on the ice for some intermission entertainment. Faceoff's won by Snow King. Out to the far point, it goes wide and drifts slowly into the near corner. Dunn tries to bat it over to Bailiff. Bailiff jostling here on the near side. Picked up by Dunn. Dunn whacking at it with Jenkins. Neither able to catch a piece of it, mostly just foul tipping. And now it's still held up along the boards. Lots of bodies battling. The puck really not traveling very far, but it's picked back up by Bauman. Bauman sauces it over to the near side, tries to find Bailiff, and he does. Bailiff trouble handling it, though. And a nice crisp pass over to his fellow Wasilla native. Here's Clark, who fires. That thing just rocketed off his stick. The problem was it was pretty far off target. Clark trying to lay ahead. Some good jump tonight from the second-year player. Picked back up by Seattle, racing to the neutral zone. Here is Butson. Butson charging in front, lost an edge, and actually took out that post. Luckily, he's all right. We get a whistle, and we'll get a face-off coming up. Nice move by Butson there to drop the shoulder and got it back over to his forehand. Just missing the finishing touch. 8:09 left here in the first period, and 1-0 the score. So here's Jenkins. He scoots in front of the benches, crosses the center line, and throws it into that far corner. Takes a bounce over to the near side where Rhodes plays it, absorbs a hit, but nicely gets it over to Hen. Hen feathers it over to Clark. Clark, a little one-touch pass. He gets it back after it was caught up in the feet of Hennon. Over to Short. He'll advance it, and it goes back behind the net of Fisher. Scooped up by the captain of the goal scorer here, Mr. Anderson, and brought up now by Pitzer. Pitzer, the big fella. He motors his way back behind the net. Has Rhodes right there with him. Rhodes blows a tire, trying to lay a hit on Pitzer. And now it trickles back over here to the near side. Powers is the first one there. He's jostling with Short, tries to get it out to the point, but can't find anybody. And it's taken back out of the zone. Thrown right back in. Takes a funky bounce off the glass, and Larson will just cover this one up. Shout out to my man Chris Alexakis. No, he didn't cover it up. Come back the other way. But it doesn't change the fact. Shout out to my man Chris Alexakis, 2-year Generals veteran, now in the Air Force up in Alaska. We miss him dearly. Excellent goaltender during his time here. Certainly well known in these parts, both after playing for the Bellingham Blazers. And then, of course, being a part of the #GensFam. Had a great post on Instagram the other day that got anybody even associated with the Gens a little teary-eyed. Always great to hear from him and the Alexakis family as a whole. While we're at it, shout out to Colleen. But great to hear from Generals veterans, both from recent years and not so recent years. Here's Arbolovsky, who fires. That one goes just wide. Dunn tries to shove it back in, and he does in the corner. Arbolovsky battling for it. Snow King will lift it out of the zone. They get a fortunate bounce off one of the stanchions. Picked back up by Bauman. Bauman brings it into the zone, taken right back out by Wood, but actually Bauman able to get there and scoop it to himself. He fires. That one goes wide. Nice idea, though. Here's Powers. Powers tries to get out of the zone, but again, nice idea by Code. He's able to get there, tries to cut inside, but a good stick to bump him off the puck. Puck's held up along the near wall here. It's Butson playing it. Butson has a little time, tries to feather to the near side. Good stick by Code. Code now with the step, tries to drag it through his feet. Unable to do so, and it's taken right back by Seattle. They'll throw it all the way down. This should be an icing, and it is. We'll see how Seattle might adjust their strategy here. Back on their heels a little bit, but holding on. More than content to ice the puck here. Of course, we're playing USA Hockey icing rules. Coming back the other way is Seattle. This is Myers and Hen, a couple of intense number twos. Tangled up there along the near side. Shout out to this referee crew for not raising the arms on either of them there. Taken back by Sweeney. Sweeney jostling on the far side. Cheney, I beg your pardon. Here is Rhodes. Rhodes taps it over to Hen. Hen flips it over to Manthe. Manthe has it along the wall. Out to Edmonds. Edmonds with a nice hit. You can certainly hear that on our crowd mics here. Over into the slot. Unable to really get a shot off, though. Good job defensively by the Gents closing down. And now here comes Hen the other way. Minchin stays on side. Dropped off for Bailiff, who fires. Save made by Fisher. Rebound loose in the slot. It pokes up, and it gets just past the stick of Rhodes, who's forced to race back and gather the puck. Rhodes, a nice little hesitation move to buy himself some time, and he gets past a couple. The problem is he ran into his own teammate, Griffin Minchin. Rhodes gets it back and just throws it into the corner. Clark races down, tries to stick lift, unable to get the puck back, and now coming the other way is Seattle. Minchin racing back to get back into play. Butson has it. Offsides. Timchishin. And we get a whistle. Snow King just able to get back on side. We got a penalty upcoming here, and it's going to be against Seattle as Larson races out. And it now will be touched up. So back over to Bauman here. And now up to Armilovsky. Armilovsky takes it. The near side again, second power play opportunity here for the Gents. Nice little saucer pass over to Hen. Hen walks into Bauman. Bauman had a chance but closed down quickly, and now a breakaway opportunity the other way. Looking to make it two, firing well high and wide. I believe that was number 14, Nate Harris, on that attempt. And unfortunately for that young man, probably one that he would want back. But at the very least, it kills off plenty of time here. 30 seconds off the clock on the power play. As Armilovsky sets up, gets it out to Bauman. Bauman throws it over to Hen. Hen walks in, fires. Good knockdown there by, I believe that's number 72, Kyle Lee, but it's held in by the Gents. Here's Bauman. Bauman thought about it, to Hen, back to Bauman. Bauman walks in, cross-ice pass looking for Armilovsky, finds him, feathers it over, trying to find Bauman again. Bauman from a tight angle, shoots, misses everything but the net. It takes a Generals bounce and it's held in by Hen. Down to Armilovsky, feathers it across, tries to find Clark, a little too difficult to handle for Clarkey, understandably so. Shot at the net, deflected wide, and back behind the net. Here's Bauman now. 44 seconds left in the Generals power play. Gents taking their time here. Bauman has it, drops it off for Hen. Hen walks in, claps it, save made, might have been deflected, and instead it goes over into the near corner. Armilovsky now, we have a whistle. And it should be offsetting both Dunn and I believe 72 Kyle Lee both heading to the box on offsetting penalties. So a slash on Dunn and a cross check on Lee, it looks like. Doesn't change really anything here on the ice. Still 5-on-4 for the Gents for the next 32 seconds. Face off to the left of Fisher. It goes into the boards. Edmonds, though, has it. He throws it right across the ice. Jenkins able to get the first stick on it. Almost held in by Rhodes, but it trickles out of the zone, and now Code races back. Wood getting ready to head out of the box. Only 15 seconds left in the Generals power play. Fisher tries to cover this one up, and he does. And back to even strength. So Wood is out of the box. Generals 0 for 2 on the power play. Shot from a tight angle. Save made by Fisher. Couldn't find it, though. He's right in his lap. Harmlessly picked up, though. Big outlet pass trying to find Wood. Icing is called, though. So Wood back down to all right. A couple of icings now here on Shot down on the near side. 1:40 left here in the first period. Butson tries to feather it towards the near slot, but it's picked up by Armilovsky. Armilovsky drops it down over to Hen. Hen pushes it over to the far side where Bauman waits. Rifles this one off the boards. It goes a mile high into the rafters. Finally comes back down. It's scooped up by Snow King. Nice move right here by Butson. The assistant captain gets past a couple, enters the zone, gets past a few more. He'll fire. Misses the target. We get a whistle. And a face-off coming to the left of Larson. Here's Hen now. Hen scoops it up. He tries to go the distance. He shoots, and he scores. Coast to coast for Dakota Hen. Boy, he's starting to find his fine form when he's rolling. It is tough to stop him. Junior Gens over on the far side love it as well. You can see them banging on the glass. It's Dakota Hen who gets the goal, and the Generals level the score. 1 goal apiece with exactly 1 minute left here in the first period. Shout out to the Hen family, who I believe is in the building tonight. I'm seeing a correlation there. Might have to get them out from Colorado Springs a little bit more often, as Dakota Hen gets the goal and ties the score. Offsides is the call on Butson, by the way. So Hen's tally his 8th of the season, 17th point overall. And he's certainly capable of goals just like that on a frequent basis, too, where he can just slice and dice his way through the D. He gets a head full of steam coming from his own zone, and boy, it's anybody's guess how exactly it'll work out. Excellently executed by Dakota Hen, and he slides through it looked like the 5-hole of Fisher to tie the game at 1 goal apiece. 35 seconds left here in the first period of play. Here is Rhodes, who scoops it up, gets it over to Manthe. Manthe has it bumped off his tape, short battling for it. Neither him nor Tim Chishin knew quite where it was. Myers blows a tire back behind the net. 17 seconds left here in the period. Manthe jostling for it with Short, so is Friesen looking on. Manthe now will walk his way out of the zone. Cross-ice pass, he finds Clark. Clark only with a few ticks on the clock. He's gonna have to get a shot off soon. He's hit from behind by Myers, and we get a whistle. And that will do it. Rather, we get the buzzer. So 1 goal apiece after the first period of play. Excellent first period between both sides. Don't go anywhere, though, as we got the 8U Junior Gens coming up here on EGHN. So our junior gen's getting a little off track here, but now we're back in the field of play, I guess if you want to call it. 62 with a little shot goes wide. So the 8U junior generals want to give a shout out to Jen Nyberg, Jason Falls, among others, and Sarah Chambers. Those three really helped kind of coordinate today's little intermission scrimmage and getting some extra ice time here with the ZAM difficulties. Do understand that the gentleman that will be fixing the Zamboni is now here on the premises, and we will let you guys know an ETA. It might be, if I had to guess, maybe another 15 minutes until we're underway here in the second period. I could be wrong. I often am, but we'll continue to keep you posted, and I appreciate the patience that you guys have shown here. Apologies for the Zamboni malfunction here tonight. Unfortunately, that ZAM has seen better days, and looking forward to getting our new ZAM here within the next year. There's a shot, shooting and scoring. 88 with the Gino. Dropping down to one knee. Fist pump. And embracing the crowd, too. He's a showman. So for those of you unfamiliar, Eugene Junior Generals out here offering teams all the way up to 18U. You can learn more about the Junior Gens by going to laha.org. That's LAHA.org. Stands for the Lane Amateur Hockey Association. Lots of great junior generals, volunteers, too many to name. Joel Dunham and Kevin Chambers out on the ice right now, along with a couple of other coaches. Kara mentioned does a tremendous job kind of heading up that program. And as those of you with Generals players in tonight's game, as you know, being a hockey parent or a sports parent of any kind often requires a lot of time and a lot of dedication to make these kind of moments possible for your young ones. So shout out to all of our Junior Generals parents. We get another goal here. I believe that was number 62. A great time to remind you that Try Hockey for Free Day coming up as well. That is on February 23rd. Now, last we checked, unfortunately, tryhockeyforfree.com hadn't updated since that last Try Hockey for Free in November. And, of course, an idea put forth by USA Hockey, but really made possible by all the associations across the country that choose to do it. The Generals and Junior Generals happy to host last year's, or November's, Try Hockey for Free. As we get another goal. That one squeaking through the 5-hole. Seeing some great sellies here tonight from the kiddos. And we get another goal here. But again, tryhockeyforfree.com, that's where you can sign up and register. It's open for, I believe the ages are 3 to 9. You can kind of vary it, though, particularly depending on your size, the size of your child, I should say. I was vertically challenged, so I probably could have done it all the way till I was about 18, just with the gear they have. But it's exactly what it sounds like. Try hockey for free. If you have a young one or young ones that have never really given the sport a try but have been very interested, well, it is, quite honestly, the perfect opportunity to do it. We've got gear set up for you, jerseys, and everything is 100% free. The only thing you need to bring is a smile on your face, really. And I imagine just after a couple of minutes on the ice, you'll have plenty of those. It's a really, really fun, that's just the best way to say it, a fun day for everybody involved. The Generals will once again be here on hand in force, helping, doing some coaching, and just kind of lending an extra hand here. I imagine some Junior Generals will be around as well. Should just be a really, really fun day here at the Rink Exchange. So again, tryhockeyforfree.com, that's where you can officially sign up. Hopefully USA Hockey will have that updated soon. So fans giving the Junior Gens a big round of applause, and heck, why not, as they should be. The mighty, mighty Junior Gens. And a huge thank you again to Jen Nyberg, Jason Falls, and Sarah Chambers for kind of helping coordinate this with myself tonight. Huge thank you to all the coaches out there on the ice as well. And just great to see hockey continue to grow here in the Emerald Valley. Thanks in large part, as we get a kid eat it here in the handshake line, thanks in large part to all of them, quite frankly. So a great time for them, and great to have them here at the Rink Exchange. So good news is the Zamboni should be coming out on the ice anytime soon. We've got, I would guess, maybe 10 to 15 minutes until the puck drops here in the second period. We'll, of course, keep you apprised. I'm going to step off and try to find some information for myself at the end of one. Remember, it is Seattle 1, Eugene 1. right, folks. Well, it's been too long, and we're back here on the ice here for the second period of play. Shout out to the 8U Junior Gens that were out here for some fun intermission entertainment here at the Rink Exchange. And thank you, folks, for bearing with us as well. And a big shout out to our friends at Pat Bay Kenworth for racing all the way down here to fix a blown hydraulic hose on the ZAM. For those of you relatively familiar with ice and hydraulic fluid, those two don't go very well together. And so shout out to our buddy Alejandro Ali Esperanza for getting off and heading over to kind of fix things for us a little bit, our longtime driver here at the Rink Exchange. And again, a huge thank you to Pape for getting on out here and helping us out. 1-1 is the score after 20 minutes of play. Scoring to open things up was Anderson. He did it on the power play, capped it with a gritty goal in front of the net. But the Generals responding with exactly 1 minute left in the period when Dakota Hen went coast to coast, snuck it through the 5-hole of Fisher. And that's where we stand. Shots 14-3 in favor of the Gens after one period of play. But where it matters most, it's up on the scoreboard. And we're knotted at 1 goal apiece. Everybody out of the sin bin now to start this period. 2 penalties against Seattle, 1 against the Generals in that first period. We mentioned Seattle 1 for 1 on the power play. The Gens 0 for 2 on the power play. We'll see what the second period has in store. We are underway here at the Rink Exchange. Brought on now by Matthew. Matthew scoots up the far wing. O'Fallon, Missouri native. I always get that wrong. O'Fallon, Illinois native. I don't know why I always struggle with that. Over here to the near side. Now it's Minchin. Minchin fires it from distance. That one goes just wide of that left post of Fisher. Fisher makes a save. Couldn't quite find it, though. It's caught up between his feet. This one goes all the way down. We get a whistle on an icing call. 19:25 will head back down to our left. Again, so happy to have you all along here on tonight's EGHM broadcast. We'll be back in action tomorrow, bright and early. Coverage will start at about 9:30. 9:45 puck drop here at the Rink Exchange. Highlighted by a pregame pancake breakfast. Starting at 9 o'clock, you can come on down and you pay for a game ticket. You get as many pancakes as you can eat, or maybe as many as we can serve. As Director of Hockey Operations Flynn Dunchak, among other General staff members, will be on the griddle, serving up some hot cakes and some hockey as well. Should be a fun Sunday morning. I'm all out of sorts on my calendar. Looking forward to seeing you here. Remember, you can get your tickets at EugeneGenerals.com, or of course watch live here on the Eugene Generals Hockey Network. Brought ahead now by, I believe this is Butson. Butson doing a good job. Might not be pretty, but it's effective. That is pretty. Here's a hard shot. Goes just wide. That glove side with Larson. Dangerous centering pass, but it's deflected wide. Nice idea by Boyvin, trying to deflect it up to Code. Code lurking on the forecheck. Forced the turnover. Fisher comes out to play, and he taps it out of harm's way, at least for the moment. Rocking it up to the point, but not out. Bauman's there. He'll throw it across to Hen. Hen chops that one down nicely, shooting. And it goes just wide off the stick of Code in front. Code cuts back in, looks for the shot, just a second too late. Good stick by a Snow King player. He gets a stick in and deflects it out of play. 18:29 left here in the second period. Face-off will be to the left of Fisher. He's had a little trouble finding some pucks tonight, but all in all, he's made some big saves when called upon. Of course, the one goal he let in of breakaway fashion, so tough to fault a goaltender on that. A nice 5-hole finish by Dakota Hen. This squirts out of the zone. It goes over to Rhodes. Rhodes gives it over to the goal scorer, Dakota Hen, who sauces it back over to Jacob Rhodes. Rhodes, nice crisp pass up here to Clark. Clark tries to gain a step. Good stick, though, right there by the Seattle defenseman to bump the puck off of his stick. Clark hands it off out to the point. Hen feathers it towards the net. Short lurking on the near side, but it goes wide. Anderson tries to gather it on the far side. He does, with Clark right on him. Powers now brings it ahead. Powers sits up at the far dot. Tries to get it over to Jenkins. He does. Puck still loose. Drifts harmlessly wide. Now thrown back in front. Here's Cheney. Tries to get a stick on it. He does, but only catches a piece. And now over into the corner. Here's Powers. Powers tries to throw it towards the net. Scooped up by Rhodes, but again, not out. Rhodes battles for it again. Still held in by the captain. Now taken out by Hen, and Hen gets past one. He'll fire from distance. He shoots, and he scores. What a finish by Dakota Hen. Busted out the old sniper rifle on that one. Bar down, hands up. What a finish by Dakota Hen for his second of the night. Couple of highlight reel goals for the second-year Colorado Springs native. And the Generals take their first lead of the evening, 2-1 off a dandy from Dakota. Oh boy, what a finish that was, catching everybody off guard, including Fisher in net. So Hen with his 8th and 9th goals of the season here tonight, approaching 20 points now. And we might be getting a goalie change here as Fisher will leave. Might be having an equipment issue or some sort. He's pouring into his helmet. We do see tonight's backup goaltender Tyler Roberts on the ice warming up. Fisher talking to one of the assistant coaches here for Snow King. Had the pleasure of talking to the coaching staff throughout much of the dead time during that first intermission. Just a pleasure to talk to and work with. Happy to have them down here in Eugene. You can see Fisher getting checked out here. We won't get too tight on that. Certainly hope he's all right. He's heading back over to the net, so assume he's all right. It's scooped up here by Minchin. Minchin scoring in his last game, takes a hit from Pitzer. Pitzer goes spilling as well. Minchin missed a couple of games after an upper body injury, but quickly getting back on the ice. No icing here as Dunn races back to gather it. He drops it off to Bauman. Bauman slowly trickles it back over to Dunn. Dunn tries to get it to Manthe. It eventually finds its way to Minchin. Minchin hesitation move ends up paying off. Unable to get past a couple, takes a hip check there from Pitzer. Generals kind of bobbling their way through the zone. It's back over to Manthe. He sauces it over to Dunn. Dunn back over to Bauman. Bauman tries to punch it off the glass. It gets past the glove of Myers and out of the zone. Bailiff battling for it now is Minchin. Minchin goes tumbling. This one flipped up. And unfortunately, a little too much mustard on that one. It goes up and out of play. And we get a whistle. Arlovsky shooting from a tight angle, and it goes wide. Deflected up. Face off to the right of Larson. Scooped up by Wood, who kept dragging it along, but then the tenacious stick of Devin Dunn poked him off the puck. Pushed down into the corner by Harris, circling back. Now Wood tries to win the battle once more. This time he's got Hennon right there with him. Dunn joins the party again. And now I believe this is Harris. Harris gets out to Lee. Lee fires, shooting, saving. Rebound in front, but it's quickly poked out. Not out of the zone, though. Held on by the Gents. Thrown at the net once more. Knocked down before it could reach the net. And now taken out of the zone. Thrown right back in by Seattle. The Generals will take that, though, as they skirt back and gather at 5 minutes off the clock here in the second period. Short tries to poke it up and out of the zone. Couldn't do it. He's pinned against the glass by Anderson. Actually held up on the lip of the boards for a moment. Now Dunn gets it. Unable to get it out, though. The Generals a little back on their heels a little bit after scoring the go-ahead goal. Here is Dunn who picks it up. He'll bang it off the glass, trying to find Clark. Unable to do so, though. And it's still held in by Snow King. Over to Bauman. Bauman flips it up over to Short. A little one-touch to get it out of the zone. Trying to find Hennon. Seattle forced to reset as Dunn circles back. They'll get a full line change here. Generals will get 1 or 2 forwards on. And now Dunn will bring it out of the zone. Lee skirts behind his zone net. Pitching down is Short. Couldn't force the turnover. Taken back by Pitzer. Pitzer tries to get a step on Short. He's hampered by him for a moment, but he does get it up to Myers. Myers looking for the redirect pass, but it finds Henn. Henn slides it over to Bauman. Bauman surveys, tries to get it up to Minchin. Minchin collides with a couple of bodies in the neutral zone, scooped up by Manthe. Manthe, a nice move to get it to himself here. Absorbs the hit over on the far side. He gets right back up over to Minchin. Minchin has it, back over to Manthe. Manthe trying to throw it in front, looking for Bailiff. It's deflected wide. Here's Henn who shoots again. That one deflected, goes over to the near boards. Henn tries to poke it to himself. Cheeky idea. Problem was it cleared. And Seattle forced to reset, or able to reset, I should say. Chris Pass looking to find Bailiff with the sauce. It caught his tape, a little too hot to handle. Along the blue line, it goes back and forth. Taken back by Pitzer. Pitzer will cross the blue line and dump it in. Here's Rhodes now. Rhodes tries to chip it over. Kind of weird, awkward piece of it, though, and it almost went right to Myers in a dangerous scoring area. But instead, the Generals wrestle control back. It's over to Henn. Henn tries to poke it to Rhodes. Got caught up in his feet. So now taken back over by Pitzer. Pitzer just throws it towards the net. Knocked down by the stick of Manthe. Manthe gives it right back, though. Thrown in front. Good stick by Henn to knock that down. Shooting and scoring from an impossible angle. I believe that might have been Garrett Powers just spinning around, pirouetting and firing towards the net. And he's able to sneak that through the 5-hole of Larson. So it looks like it was Powers. He scores, and we're all tied up at 2 goals apiece at the 13:06 mark off a crazy goal there from Garrett Powers. Butson almost blowing a tire a little dangerously there on the cutback. Fortunately, all right. Ankle still intact as the puck is held up right in front of my man, Alex Brown, in the PA box. Here comes Code now bringing it into the zone. Arbolowski tries to scoop it up along the wall. Couldn't do it. Bauman, though, gets it back, and he'll throw it into the far corner nicely. Code gets it. Nicely pushed it over to Arby. Arby feathers it out to Bauman. Bauman gets it out of his skates. He'll walk the line, throws it towards the net. Save made. Rebound in front. Puck still loose, but the net comes off its mooring. And we get a whistle. Lurking on the back door was Arbolowski, it looked like. Puck over on that near corner still. Timchashin almost able to get it out of that corner. It bounces dangerously over into the near side. It is poked just out of the zone. Dunn battling for it in the neutral zone. A couple of players banging around over along that far wall. It goes all the way down where Bauman will track it down. Shout out to John and Angie just cuz. And now scooped up here in the neutral zone. Here's Arbolowski. Calling for it was Bauman. Nice move, though, by Arbolowski. We just quite run out of time and space to get it over to Bauman, but Arby still chopping his way towards the net somehow, pirouetting his way around that puck. It's lifted up by Seattle, though, not out. Bauman with a nice forearm shiver right there, but held on to by number 19, and Buxton will actually bring it all the way out of the zone. He showcased a nice shimmy here today, and he does it again, trying to cut inside to look for the wraparound. He's walled off, pokes it out now to Lee. Lee in the very high slot, fires, shooting, saving is Larson. He'll hold on. And we get a whistle. That's a shout out to John and Angie Bauman down in Windsor, California. Angie coming through with a vicious chirp of her son on Instagram earlier. Hit me close to home as someone who's a little vertically challenged like Jackson, but man, that was fantastic stuff. Bauman's second year as a part of our Gents fan. Jackson joining the Generals last year, almost joined the year prior, but unfortunately derailed by an unfortunate upper body injury. Former standout at Windsor High School as a running back. Excellent athlete, Jackson is. Don't tell him I said that. Here is Hen, who tees it up on the clapper. Fisher makes the save. Puck still loose in the crease. Fisher scrambling to cover it up. Couple bodies down. Hennon's one of them. Refs wisely not blowing the whistle. Would have been easy to do so there. Hen throws it at the net short, almost on the back door, but it sneaked just underneath his tape. Near the midway point here of the second period. A goal apiece for either side here in the second period. Thrown towards the net, almost deflected inside of that near post, but it goes just wide. Back into the corner it goes. Short battling for it, so is Hennon. Coming away with it, though, is number 23. That is Kai Wood. And it's poked out of the zone. Racing back is Hen. He's got Anderson right there with him. Anderson scored the opening goal tonight of power play fashion. A nice gritty goal. The undersized captain. Nice play by Short on the backhanded pass to get it over to Hennon. And the Generals bench loving it. Here's Hennon firing. And saving is Fisher. I got the boys buzzing. Coach Colonel smiling over there. I think giving Hennon a hard time, saying, I think you got to finish it off after a pass like that from Short. Short first-year player from Arizona. Quite simply one of the funnier Generals we've had here in quite some time, and that's saying something. He has got a heck of a sense of humor. From Arizona / Vancouver, Washington, I should say. Face-off will be to the left of Fisher. Here is Dunn. He fires from distance. That one knocked down, and now Seattle with numbers. They can get up and gallop. Offsides is the call. Harris doesn't realize it, so this should be blown dead, and it is. Harris just didn't realize the call. Dunn took exception to it. I think Harris just didn't realize it, saying, hey, man, I just made a mistake. Don't get mad. And so we'll come back out and head down to our left. Face-off taken by the Gents, nicely out to Dunn. Dunn only caught a piece of it, though, trying to feather it towards the net. And now taken out by Pitzer. Thrown ahead by Myers. And again, just another shout-out to Grandma Myers, watching up in Portland. Harris, some nice patience right there, and he throws it into the corner. Myers tracks it down over to Pitzer, looking for, I believe that was Edmonds on the back door, and he was there. Pass couldn't find him, though. Now a 2-on-1 coming the other way. Here is Bauman. Bauman over to Minchin. Minchin fires, only caught a piece of it, though. Fisher able to make the save, and the net comes off its moorings. A couple of good chances at both ends of the ice. Neither are able to find the twine, though. And we got a player down over by the Seattle net. See him moving his extremities. I think he might have just hit the net, had the wind knocked out of him. Hitting one of those posts. And Generals trainer Doc McDonald And it looks like it's number 22, Hunter Jenkins. And he's now sitting upright. Doc McDonald, a member of the Junior Thunderbirds coaching staff, out tending to him on the ice. Doc calling for a pair of players to help him over off of the ice. And again, certainly don't want to speculate regarding the young man's injury. And on his feet, being helped off by his teammates. Glad to see he's up and all right. Just going back and looking at it. So Jenkins laying out on the 2-on-1, trying to stop that pass from Bauman over to Minchin. And it looked like as he was sliding in, he slid into both Fisher and perhaps the left post as well. So it's a Seattle team that's been plagued by injuries this season, and we certainly hope this isn't another serious one that they were dealt with. Happened to just be talking with their coaching staff about their unfortunate rash of injuries this season. Still not even fully staffed here. There's about 4 or 5 kids back up in Seattle dealing with various ailments, and our best wishes go to them. Hopefully speedy recoveries across the board, and particularly here Mr. Jenkins. So walking under his own power, which was good to see. I'm still not quite sure after all that what was ailing him. He certainly looks like he is sore, not feeling well. As meanwhile, we get a couple of goalies just being goalies, talking on either side of the red line. So we'll try to keep you apprised of Hunter Jenkins, how he's feeling, any updates we might have. Goalies heading back to their station. Still some stagnation on the ice, though, here. Brandon Bathke, one of our linesmen tonight, longtime official here in Eugene, left the ice, actually, for a moment. He's back on. All right, well, either way, we are back underway, and the Generals taking the lead just like that, right off of the draw. Jared Code rifling that one home. So almost kind of a subdued celebration or just atmosphere after that tough injury, but Code extends his lead atop of the Generals score sheet, and the Generals regain the lead. 3-2 is the score here midway through the second period. So without looking at the stats, I want to say that's Code's 18th of the season. He leads the Gens in goals and points this season. First-year player from Irvine, California. Previously played at Villa Park High School, part of the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League. It's been incredible to see what both the Ducks and the Kings have done. And they've really helped grow the hockey community in that area, particularly with those high school hockey leagues. My hometown, for instance, a couple of teams from my old high school league actually involved in the LA Kings Hockey League. So great to see down there. And Generals reaping the benefits of the investments of the Ducks and the Kings. Happy to have Jericho Day up here again in his first season. He's been such a pleasant surprise and just a tremendous, tremendous kid off the ice as well. And if his hockey career never pans out, happened to see him performing on the microphone yesterday at Rock Band, and let me tell you, that kid could have a future in show business. That guy's got stage presence. Picked up by Dakota Hennier in the neutral zone. He'll bring it up ahead. Nice pad save made by Fisher, and he covers it up. Out to Hennon, now over to Clark, who fires. What a one-timer. He's got that baby copyrighted there. What a finish from Clark as he rifles that thing into the net. And he gives the Gens the first 2-goal lead of the evening. Clark, his first of the night. And so the Generals strike twice in quick succession. 4-2 now is the score with just under 8 minutes left in the period. Here's Hennon, who fires that through a crowd, but it goes wide. Now over to Short. Short battling in the corner. Hennon and the much bigger Pitzer battling, but it's a stalemate so far. It trickles out to the far point. Dunn tries to throw it back in. It's knocked down by the very tenacious Anderson. Anderson still lurking, trying to wrestle it back. Puck still loose. Good stick by Larson. But it's finally poked home, and the tenaciousness from Anderson makes that all happen. Pitcher's going to get the goal, but my goodness, Anderson has been impressive tonight, leading like a captain does. He made that entire sequence happen by just sheer effort. What a play by Anderson. And he cuts it back to a 1-goal game. That 2-goal lead did not last long for the Gens. In fact, less than about 50 seconds. So 4-3 is the score. Things really ramping up here in the second period of play. Man, just can't get over that effort play there by Anderson. Excellent job by him, and again, leading by example. He's shown just in the first 10 minutes of ice time here for him tonight why he's got that C on his chest. Face off right in front of us here in the neutral zone. Manthe takes it, taps it back over to Rhodes. Rhodes rifles it into the zone. Bailiff's the first one there in the near corner. He'll try to advance it back over to Manthe. Can't get to Manthe in time. And nice stick work right there by number 19, Matthew Butson, one of the assistant captains here. Goes out to Rhodes over the far side. Rhodes a little trouble with it again, and it costs him as now it's poked out by Snow King. He absorbs a hard hit, but he does get it back to his deep partner, Henn, who resets back behind his own net. Henn hesitates, gets past one, tries to get past another. Harris gives him a little too much trouble to handle. Here's Butson trying to drag his way around. Butson with a great chance. Not sure if that caught a piece of Larson or the post, but it would have been a dandy of a goal. And instead it stays a 1-goal lead for the Gens. Up to Bailiff on the near wall. Bailiff gets to the line and will throw it in back below the net of Fisher. Manthe bangs bodies in the corner. Griffin comes to help them out. He loses his footing. Picked up now by Edmonds. Edmonds wraps it blindly. Manthe was there. And it's picked up and it finds its way to Butson, who brings it out of the zone. Butson along the far side, able to get past one. Tries to get it over to Timchishin, who fires. Save made by Larson. And it's scooped up by a very tenacious Jared Code. He wins that battle. Cuts inside one, cuts inside another. Gets the shot off. He shoots, still loose. And it finds the back of the net. Looks like Boyven might get credit for the goal. Not quite sure. You folks are going to have to rewind to see. The Generals light the lamp once more, and they regain that 2-goal advantage. Well, just like Anderson made it all happen at one end of the ice, that was all Code right there, forcing the turnover, getting past a pair of junior Thunderbird skaters, and ultimately somehow finding the back of the net. Again, that might go down as Boyven, who tapped it in on that near post. And almost all the credit should go to Code there. Excellent effort play by Code. So it is credited to Hunter Boyven. He gets his second goal as a General. Klamath Falls, Oregon native. A former opponent of a couple of these former junior gens out here. A foe turned friend as Pitzer brings it in. Not sure if that was a shot or a pass. Either way, he was knocked down by the shin of a Generals player. Looking for Anderson streaking into the slot. Nice idea, and he would have been open. That pass just not on the money. And now taken out by Arbolowski. Arbolowski hustles his way up. He'll try to look to get the shot off. Instead, he's walled off, so it goes back behind. Picked up now by number 23. That's Kai Wood. Wood can't get it out, though. Battling for it is Boyven. It's poked out to the point and deflects up and into the Generals bench. We will get a whistle, another stoppage of play. That lifted up and just over the outstretched glove of Clark. Clark looking like a center fielder when he misses a catch, looking at the glove like, how did that get through there? Is there a hole in my glove? Poked out now by Butson. Butson races up ahead. He flips it over to Myers, back over to Butson, just able to stay on side, but it's flipped out of the zone. Clark battling with Myers over on the far side. Clarkey wins that initial battle. Who's going to win the war, though? It's ping-ponging back and forth. Finally goes back over to the junior T-Birds. And it's thrown off the boards here up to Myers. Myers on the right side of the red line, advances it up ahead. Rhodes will be the first one to get there, though. Butson arrives second. Nice clean hit by Butson on Rhodes. Charging over at that far post, turned away. That is Harris for Snow King. Here is Head now trying to wiggle his way out of trouble, and he somehow gets it over to Rhodes. I thought he had dug himself in a hole too deep to get out of. It shows what I know is now Rhodes and Short battling for it. It's poked now to Butson. Butson tries to drag around Hen, and he does. Didn't have anything ready for the second attempt, though, but it's held in. Clark couldn't get it out. Now over to Myers. Crisp pass, but nobody on the receiving end. Chopping at it is Harris. He'll get it back. Harris drops it off now over on the far side. Only finds Boyven's stick, though. He'll throw it out of the zone. No icing here as that slows down, and Lee will grab it. I beg your pardon. Yes, that is Kyle Lee, as this is now Hen who throws it up ahead. Or rather, Hen wraps it over on the far side. It's tapped back by Rhodes. And poked now over here to the near side. Bailiff battles for it. Pitzer has it, tries to feather it over to Timchishin, but it goes wide. Loose in front. Here's a shot, save made. It sounded like by Larson off of that right leg pad. Cheney able to keep it in. He'll dump it into the corner. Poke back behind. Here is Rhodes. Rhodes has it now. He gets it out of the zone. Manthe comes over trying to pick it up, but Pitzers look very impressive. Picks it up. He loses it, though. Swatted out of the zone by Rhodes. Tracking back is Cheney. Cheney will pick it up. 2:27 left here in the second period. 5-3 the score. 8 goals tonight. 6 of them have come here in the second period. Tied 1-1 after 1. But 4 goals for the Gens, 2 for the junior T-Birds here in the second. That's where we stand, and still time for more. Excellent play by Code to drag past one. He's going to that far post. Save made. Puck still loose in the slot. Here's Manthe who tees it up. He shot it right into the back of Code who fell down, and Code actually covered it up inadvertently. And so we get a whistle. Stoppage of play. Dunn coming in. He's been known for the extracurriculars here. Sometimes for good reasons, sometimes not so much. At the end of the day, very defensive of his teammates, and Can't argue with that. We'll see if anybody heads to the sin bin after that. It looks like number 48 heading over, Grayson Timchishin. And so another power play opportunity for the Gens, and it comes with 2:04 left, so this will possibly carry us almost right into the break. So we'll get a face-off to the right of Fisher. And it's won by the Gens. Arbolowski gets it out to Dunn. Dunn pushes it out to Hen. Here's Bauman. He walks in front. Dunn setting up in front. And it's deflected just wide. Now out to Arbolowski. Thought about trying to force it over to Clark, but instead feathers it out to Bauman. Bauman over to Hen. Hen gets it. Looking for the back door for Clark. It trickles over to Arbolowski, who fires. Knocked down by Myers. Good stick battle there by Myers, but it's just held in by the second effort of Bauman. Bauman gets past one, past another. Here is Hen, who fires. What a save by Fisher. Fisher sliding over, getting that right leg pad there just in time. This one centered over to Clark, but it gets just past him, and it's taken out of the play. Anderson, wouldn't you know it, he's the one racing down with that extra gear, trying to waste some time or perhaps maybe pull a rabbit out of his hat and score his second of the evening. Generals take back over, and it's out now to Arbolowski. 1:08 left on the power play here. Here comes Hen. Hen brings it up into the slot, gets past one, gets past another. He shoots from a tight angle, and he misses everything but the glass. Arbolowski now at the point, pushes it down to Hen. Hen nicely one-touch pass out to Bauman. Bauman looking for Clark on the one-timer, but couldn't quite connect. Bauman throws it down below. Dunn will track this one down. He pushed it out to Hen. Hen over now to Bauman. Bauman fires, deflected in front, puck still loose, in and out of the catching glove of Fisher, and it goes back behind Fisher's net. 38 seconds left on the Generals' power play. Dunn wrestles it back. He gets it out to Bauman. Bauman pushes it down to Hen. Hen circles up at the near dot. Almost cut inside. Instead, backhands it out to Bauman, who fires. He shoots, and he scores. The captain with a rocket from the high slot, and he gives the Gens the first 3-goal lead of the evening. Excellent power play, and it culminates in the number 6 goal of the night. Generals lead 6-3. So the Generals with the PPG, and Bauman getting his 7th goal of the season. I can't imagine the Seattle team will be going away anytime soon, though. Generals going to have to keep their guard here to snap this mini losing streak they've been on as of late. Mostly highlighted by just hard-fought losses, but showing some good grit today. 6-3 is the score. Dangerous pass there by Manthe, on the money though. But it's broken up and held in by Seattle. Here's Rhodes. Rhodes gets it up to Bailiff, but that'll do it for the second period of play. And what a second period it was. We started at 1-1. We will exit at 6-3 at the end of 2 periods here in Eugene. It's the Generals 6, Seattle 3. Welcome back, Generals fans. It's been a long one here. Appreciate you guys hanging on late with us. About this time last Saturday, we were almost wrapped up with our game against Portland, but fortunately the Zamboni chose not to comply tonight, hence the long delay. And then unfortunately, a much more serious delay later in the evening. It's Hunter Jenkins leaving the game after suffering what looked like an upper body injury. Don't want to speculate, but certainly hope that Jenkins was all right. He was able to get back to his feet and slowly, with the help of some teammates, get off the ice. We talked about earlier, this is a Snow King team that's been plagued by injuries throughout this season, and certainly hope that that plague hasn't continued. But we wish Mr. Jenkins the best, and hope that whatever injury that ails him is not too serious. So the Generals leading 6-3 there. A wild second period. It was 1-1 after one. Generals scoring 5 goals in that second period. 2 goals for Snow King. Hen with a pair of goals tonight. Clark, Code, Boyven also with 1. And Bauman scoring the last goal of the second period. Here is Pitzer wheeling around the zone. He turns it over, though, and now Bailiff rumbles his way out of the zone. A crisp cross-ice pass. Did it kind of without looking there. Just out of the reach of Manthe. So it's poked up ahead. Here's Tim Chinshin. Loses it back over to Bauman. Bauman races up ahead. He throws it at the net, kicked away by Fisher. Glad to see Fisher still in net. I'm not sure if it was an equipment issue or a bit of an injury worry earlier, but we had a bit of a stoppage of play to tend to Fisher. There's a shot, save made, another save made by Fisher. Pokes out to Dunn. Dunn chops at it, able to keep it in. Here's Arbolowski. Arbolowski gets it down below to Boyven. Boyven trying to get it back to Arbolowski. Code interrupted that as he had dropped down to a knee. Good zone time here by the Gens to start the period, but it is cleared and poked all the way out of the zone. Bauman tracks back as Seattle gets some fresh horses on the ice. Here's Bauman. Bauman rips it up ahead. It catches the blade of Arbolowski, so no icing here. Heads down low. Lee's able to get there, jostling with Boyven. Brought out now by Harris. Harris up the near side. Good job by Bauman to wall him off. Harris still holds on to possession, though. Runs out of real estate and heard the footsteps of Code. Bit of a subdued tempo here to start for both teams. Dunn a little trouble with it, able to get it out of the zone. This should be icing, though, and it is, so we'll head back to our left. It's been great to hear from some of you folks throughout the evening, albeit intermittently due to these stoppages and startages, if you want to call that a word here. Would love to hear from you throughout the rest of the evening, though. Remember to get in touch with us, Facebook or Twitter. Probably the easiest way, at least for me to see immediately, is just on our YouTube live chat if you're watching live. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're watching with. The net off its moorings. Another shout out to Elaine Myers. Want to make sure she's getting the shout out here. I mean, great to see so many Seattle parents here in the building. There's a clapper from distance, deflected wide. Great day of hockey here in Eugene. A lot of youth hockey going on as Ben was in the building. 10U and 12U games. Bringing out the half boards here to split up those 10U games. Just such a great sight to see all the action when you get those boards out, get some cross ice or half ice games going. Then the Generals, of course, facing off here, and then during the first intermission, a prolonged scrimmage featuring the 8U Junior Gens. A great day of hockey here again in Eugene. Happy to have you all as a part of it. There's Short, who runs into Lee. Lee wins that battle. Back behind the net of Larson. Caught up in the feet of Hennon. He gets it out. Too far up ahead. We do have a penalty coming, I believe. No, I beg your pardon. We have a player, unfortunately, another Seattle player down in the corner. I didn't quite see what had happened. I'll try to get a number on it as soon as I can. Looking at the replay here. I believe that is number 72, Kai Wood. I beg your pardon, I got my numbers mixed around. 72, Kyle Lee. Took what looked like was a shoulder there from short. Now, just after Lee had bested him right before, I could see Lee up, leaning against the boards now. And again, you just hate to see it here, especially with our friends from Seattle making the long trek down and just starting to get healthy here. I've talked about it a couple of times tonight. Very short bench in the team's first trip down here, as thankfully our friend Kyle Lee has risen to his feet. And he'll get some assistance. It looks like some assistance right back over to the bench, so perhaps a good sign that he's not heading directly to the locker room, at least for the time being. But again, can't say enough about the staff here with Seattle. Incredibly gracious and just good people. And hate to see a couple of players drop down with some injuries here. Again, hoping that it's not too serious. And as I look over at the bench, Kai sitting back down, talking to a couple of the coaches, but taking a sip of water, almost looking like he's about ready to go. So we'll keep an eye on number 72. And again, hope that it's not too serious. Here from Jennifer Dunn. Was wondering where the Dunn family was. Well, it turns out a lot of them are here in Eugene. Dunn has family visiting tonight. Both his older brothers drove out this weekend to support the team. Awesome to hear. And great to have them here in Eugene. I know they're among a couple of Generals family members here in Eugene. We talked about the Hens being here tonight as well. Haven't had the pleasure of seeing either the Hens or the Dunns yet. Here comes Minchin, by the way. Nice pass to find Bailiff, who fires, and he scores. What a beautifully executed 2-on-1 the other way. Minchin with the feed, Bailiff with the finish, and the Generals kick the extra point here, 7-3 here with 16:38 left in the third period. Generals skating with a little swagger here tonight. They've had a couple of great team plays, some pretty goals here. That one was just nicely executed all around. So Bailiff, first-year player here for the Gens. Talked earlier, a great longtime friend of Alex Clark, a second-year player here for the Gens. Both, of course, Wasilla natives, former Wasilla Warriors. Here's Dunn with a nice play, but has the puck bump off his tape right at the last moment. Looking for the redirect on the short side. Unable to thread that needle. It's still held in, though. Here's Tim Chashin. Shout out to Shannon keeping me honest. I'm trying my darndest here, Shannon. Bailiff, his fourth goal of the season. And now here comes Code. Code, a pass up to his billet brother, Bauman. A little too unselfish there, as that one forced the Gens to go off sides. Code and Bauman coming over. Bauman going over to the ref, or the linesman trying to figure it out. Code was trying to go over to Bauman, trying to figure it out. At the end of the day, offsides is called. Bauman heads to the bench. Both have scored tonight. The billet sons of none other than Flint Dunchak, the director of hockey operations here, a member of the Eugene General staff for all 14 years here in Eugene. Rhodes fans on that one, and the second effort gets it in. Dangerous, though, could have led to an odd man rush the other way. Here's Code on the backhand. He shoots, deflected, and it goes wide. Blocker side of Fisher's net, taken back by Arbolowski. Arbolowski here in the near corner, tries to dump it down. It does find its way to Code, albeit with a bit of fortuitiveness. Here's Wood, who fires, deflected, and catches the netting out of play. 15-17 left here in the third period. Face out to the left of Larson, scooting in after winning it was Snow King, unable to thread that needle there, and now it's poked up to Short. Short rumbles his way up, gets to Hen. Hen with a head full of steam. Enters the zone, loses it though, and so the Gens force a reset. Here's Hen and back over to Rhodes. Rhodes shuffles his feet. And we'll dump it up back behind the net of Fisher. Over to Clarkey now. Clarkey cuts inside, wanted to get it to his forehand. Couldn't quite do it, it's poked out of the zone where Hen races back. He sauces it over to Rhodes. Rhodes back over to Hen. Good regroup tonight from the Generals defenseman. They say that Hen tried to slide it up ahead, caught the shin pad of a Snow King player, but now it's brought ahead by Rhodes. Rhodes right on the tape up to Clark. Clark had that one bumped off and caught his shin in advance for a moment. Battling his Butson over on the side. It is cleared. Bauman races back to track it down. He's got Pitzer right there with him, but he gets it right over to Rhodes. Rhodes looking for Clark, and he links up. Here's Clark from distance. That one goes high and wide, buzzes the tower of Fisher, but never really threatened. Back behind the net, taken away by Short. Charges at that near post, turned away by a good stick of the junior Thunderbirds. This trickles all the way down. This should be an icing, and it is. Butson and Dunn getting into it. And Dunn, for my money, probably should head to the penalty box. And indeed he will. So Butson will head to the box as well for that little late shove. I think more out of frustration, but I think on Dunn's regard, really no excuse in my mind. I apologize, Jennifer, but no excuse in my mind for that kind of interaction, albeit I do understand as a competitor myself. I may understand, but it certainly doesn't excuse it, so the two are going to sit down, think about what they just did, and hopefully cool off for a bit. Inside of 14 minutes remaining in regulation here in Eugene. This goes out to Bauman, who fires. Kicked away by Fisher. Goes into the corner. Bailiff pokes it down now to Minchin. That just skipped past the stick of Minchin. Poked out to Hen. Hen keeps it in. Nice play to feather it into the corner. Absorbed a hit, but made the right play. Thrown in front to Manthe. Manthe chops at it, but it's poked wide. Here's Bauman now. Bauman tries to poke it up, and he does exactly that. Taken back, though, by Myers. Myers can't quite link up, so it's over to Hen. Hen over to Bauman. Bauman up to Manthe to Code. Code on the right side of the red line advances it. Taken away by Cheney. Cheney throws it off the boards, but to no one in particular. Rhodes gets there first, and he'll just dump it into the corner. Here's Cheney again now. He'll try to wrap it around. It gets past Minchin, not past Code, though. Back behind the net, here's Pitzer. Pitzer throws it off the wall, catches a couple of funky bounces on the lip of the glass. Here's Rhodes, who fires. Save made by Fisher, rebound in front. But Fisher sliding over, and Code unable to get a stick on it. Here is Dakota Hen. He drags it around one, drags it around a second, takes a couple fortunate bounces. Here's Rhodes, who fires. That one deflected, though, up and out of play. Oh, 12:37 left here in the third period. Again, a reminder, tomorrow's game very early. We'll start with a 9 o'clock pancake breakfast. What a beautiful chance right there, but Arbolowski puts that one wide. 9 o'clock pancake breakfast tomorrow. 9:45 game time. Centering pass here is Bauman trickling in, couldn't quite connect, looking to get it back to Code. Code bumped off his angle. And Snow King able to get it out of the zone. This should be an icing, but this will go all the way down, and we get the whistle. Face off to the left of Fisher. It goes out to Bauman at the far point. He hesitates, floats it into the corner. Arbolowski tries to get there. Harris is there as well. Arbolowski wins that battle. And he leaves it off. No, thought he left it off for Boyven. Instead, he keeps holding on. Drops it down. It gets past Code over to Boyven. Boyven back down to Code. Code gets past one over to another. It's Arbolowski lurking on the back door. Puck still loose, but it's poked away. Chance for Boyven to get his second of the night, but unable to get the blade on it. And the Generals take it right back. Chris pass up to Arbolowski. Arbolowski tips it up to himself nicely. He'll enter the zone. Seeing some good chemistry here between Arbolowski and Code in particular. Short joining them on the ice as well. Scramble in front. And it's taken out by Snow King, and now a beautiful pass, an outlet pass up to Powers. Powers fires, good stick by Hen, and another save by Larson. Excellent effort right there by Hen to get back into play. I thought Powers was going to be in all alone, but Hen able to disrupt that, and then Larson makes the save after the initial attempt. Short swatting at it in the neutral zone. Generals regroup and get a couple of fresh skaters on the ice. It looks like Dunn and Butson will be back on the ice once we get another stoppage of play. Here is Rhodes. Rhodes gains the zone, throws it in. Edmonds now gathers it. Throws it up to Anderson. Anderson, a long stretch pass, couldn't link up, and we get a whistle. Both sides out of the penalty box now for their extracurricular activities. We'll head back to our right with 10:53 left here in the period. Shot from distance. Nobody knew where that one went. I think it somehow, some way ended up out of play. Question is where, though. 10:49 left here in the third period. Again, great to have all you folks on hand with us tonight. Here's Pitzer. Pitzer brings it up ahead. Lost it for a moment, but it trickled right over to his teammate Butson, who shoots. That one goes just wide of that that far post, not by much. Back over to Pitzer after it was kept in by Cheney. Pitzer will just dump it into the corner as Lee heads to the bench for a change. By the way, first time I noticed that Lee was back on the ice. Great to see and glad that's the case. No word on Jenkins as of yet. This thrown towards the net, sticked aside, but Larson shoving that near post off its moorings. That near post had a little trouble tonight, staying put. 10:08 left here in the period. Here is Bauman. Bauman crosses the center line, dumps it towards the net of Fisher. Awkward play. Fisher covers it up. Channeling his inner shortstop there. And another whistle. Reminder, every Generals game archived here on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Eugene Generals. You can always head there and rewatch every Generals game. Tonight's game should be available almost immediately following the conclusion. Might take a little bit to just re-encode and reload up there, but it'll be available at the exact same link that you found this one tonight. Generals for a long time now, the only junior hockey team in the nation as far as we know to broadcast every home game live, free, and in HD as we get a whistle, a penalty coming up. It looks like it's going to go against the junior T-Birds. And so the Gens head back to the power play as Tim Chishin heads to the box for the second time tonight. Hearing from Adam Telgenhoff. Hope I'm pronouncing that right, Adam. A couple others missed Fizzy 5 saying go Birds as well. So power play time here for the Gens comes to the 9:35 mark. As it's getting late here in Eugene, only 10 minutes away from being 12 hours out of tomorrow's start time. Now Cheney's coming over, so it might be a 2-10 situation here. Here from Jennifer Dunn, thank you for the kind words. Happy that we're able to do it. It's a big point of pride for us here. And so it must be a 2-10 because Chimchishin is now leaving the ice. We're under 10 minutes left. And so Cheney will serve the 2-minute penalty. Checking from behind is the call. Faceoff goes out to Hen. Hen slides it over to his D partner, Bauman. Over to Arbolowski now. Arbolowski had to get it out of his feet. This one feathered over to Hen. Hen gets it out of his boot, pokes it out to Bauman. Bauman fires from distance. That one goes wide. Now out to Arbolovsky. Arbolovsky here on the near side, up to Bauman in the very high slot. Back over to Arbolovsky. He'll walk into it. Thought about firing. Instead gets it over to Clark. That one about ankle high, though, so a little tough to handle, and it's covered up by Fisher. Don't want to see any extracurriculars here at this point in the game. But again, just getting back to the broadcast, again, thank you very much, Jennifer, for the kind words. And again, especially for you visiting family members, hope you guys have all enjoyed it. The tradition we look to continue. EGHN initially started by John Strong, a story some of you familiar with the program will know. A name a lot of you here in the Northwest might recognize. John Strong, the former play-by-play man for the Portland Timbers, now the head soccer voice for Fox Sports as a whole. Might have heard him recently at the most recent World Cup last year. Well, you got to start here in Eugene as a student with the University of Oregon. Basically founded the broadcast. It was an audio-only broadcast at first. Here's a shot, save made by Fisher. Not sure how he saw it, but he made the save. From there, after John Strong, moved on to Daniel Bell. And Daniel Bell taught me the ropes a while ago. A couple of good saves by Fisher, and now coming the other way is Seattle. Nice attempt right there by number 19. Here is Clark. Clark from the slot shoots. Knocked down. Clark able to wrestle his own rebound and keep it in the zone. Slides it out to Hen. Hen walks in. He'll tee up the clapper. That one well wide. Bauman's the first one to get there. And we're going to have a tripping call coming against number 19, Matthew Butson. No malintent, but clear-cut tripping call. So we'll have 5-on-3 for up to 38 seconds. Not looking like Seattle's night here after the solid start, but tomorrow is a new day. And in fact, before I even get ahead of myself, there's still plenty of time here, 8:13. And you got to think killing off this 5-on-3 in the ensuing power play go a long way to putting some wind beneath their wings. We'll see how it all shakes out. Face-offs taken by the Gens. It's Code, Minchin, Manthe, Rhodes, and Hen on the ice. Here's Code, tries to throw it in front off the shins of number 23. It's now out to Hen. Hen over to Code. Code on the near circle. He'll exchange spots with Hen. Back down to Hen. Hen from a tight angle shoots and scores. He's got the hattie, and all three came in brilliant variety. He squeezes that one for a tight angle on the near side and roofs it for his third goal tonight, first hat trick of the season. What a time to do it. Again, you've heard us mention it already, his family in the stands tonight. Well, we might have to just rent them a condo for the rest of the season out here in the Emerald Valley. It's Dakota Hen's world. We're just living in it tonight, folks. Excellent finish from Hen from a tight angle. I could see him teeing it up, and I started to think, oh, I don't know about this, and he made me eat my words once again. So excellent finish from the Colorado Springs native Cheyenne Mountain High School product. And the Generals still in the power play. Another 90 seconds here to make it a 9-3 game. Here's Code, a little dangerous, but he's able to get past Butson over to Hennon. Hennon chops it up ahead. Code couldn't track it down. Code looking like a wind-up toy tonight out there. He is all over the place. Rhodes tries to play it back to Hennon, unable to link up. Hennon races back, though, and slides it back over to Rhodes. Rhodes tips it up to himself, almost a little too much. He gets it to Code, though, on the far side. Code gets past one, able to hand it off to Minchin. Minchin enters the zone, a little wild, so he just dumps it into the corner. Code is there to wrestle it away. Code walks in, looking to feather it from a tight angle. That one, well, feathered just wide. Here is Manthe. Manthe pokes it out to the point. Rhodes fires. That one knocked down. Looking for the shot on the back door is Minchin. Now Manthe. Both turned away before it can reach the net. Here's Manthe again. Manthe back behind the net. Sauces it over to Hennon. Here's Rhodes over to Code. Poked down in the zone by Pitzer, and the Generals will reset with 31 seconds left on the power play. .6:25 left here in the third period. Comfortable lead here for the Gens. Skylar Larson looking for win number 4 of the season. As you hear his stick wrapping on the ice, Butson is out of the box. We're back to even strength. So the Generals convert on the 5-on-3. Can't nab a second on the 5-on-4. Myers looking to track this one down. He had 2 white jerseys on him, but he almost came away with it. Excellent effort from Myers. Hate to play favorites out here, but Myers, Powers, Pitzer, and Anderson have been stellar where I'm standing from right now, mainly from an effort standpoint. Offsides is the call, an easy call at that. A little overexcited was Hunter Boyven. And a face-off right in front of the Seattle bench with under 6 to go. Over to the near side, Lee feathered it up ahead. First one to get there, though, is Bauman. Bauman gets it over to Boyven. Boyven, backhanded pass, dangerous one to a blind one. It's taken by Myers. His first shot knocked down before it reached Larson. Second one over the crossbar of Larson's net. Taken back by Clark. Clark dangerous there, but that one takes a fortunate roll, and now he'll bring it up ahead. He tries to cut through a trio, charges all the way to the net. The 2 lock up and actually goes sliding into the net. I don't think Lee really appreciated that. That's the second time he's gone into a net tonight. Nothing intentional there by Clarkie, I don't believe. Just almost like a bull in a china shop a little bit there. Hope that Lee's all right. I think Lee kind of stating his case, and I think rightfully so, a little fired up about that. 5:20 left here. Nobody heading to the box for either side. Face off to the right of Fisher. Puck going nowhere in a hurry on the far side. Now it's ripped away by Dunn. Walking in is Bauman. Bauman's already got 1 tonight. His shot, though, knocked down. He's got work to do now with 2 jerseys coming at him. Bauman gets there first. I don't think he knew that Pitzer was trailing, and he almost ran right into that big old wall that is Mr. Pitzer. But instead, the Generals catch a couple of good bounces and have a nice breakout here, and they'll bring it through the neutral zone. Here's Bauman. Bauman throws on the brakes. Nice hesitation. Nice idea, and it pays off. Bauman feathers that towards the net. It totally caught Fisher. Frankly, it caught everybody off guard. What a smart finish from Bauman, his second of the evening. And the Generals make it 9-3 here with 4:42 to go. So Rhodes loses on the far side. Myers took it away, but it's quickly taken right back. And now here comes Rhodes. He gets it up to Minchin. Minchin enters the zone, has the puck roll on him a bit. Not too much mustard on that one there. Hard pass to find Powers. It found his skates. A little trouble getting it out, understandably so. Here's over to Minchin. Minchin hesitates, gets past one, and able to get it up to Bailiff on the far side. Bailiff has 1 tonight. He goes sliding into the corner, taken back by Snow King. Here is Powers, who fires. Cheeky little shot there. Nice pad save. Another blocker save made by Larson. Generals fans loving that. And this one deflected. I think the net might have come off its moorings again, or perhaps we have a penalty coming up. Here's Dakota Head again, hat trick tonight for Head. First of the season. I have to check if that might be the first in his Generals career. I'm not quite sure. Poked up to Minchin. A little bit behind him though, but he circles back to gather the puck as we approach 3 minutes left here in regulation. Pass up to Manthe. Manthe able to wrestle it back, and he'll throw it up into the corner. Nice stick by Manthe, chopping that one down. Manthe, a player, you can see his confidence continue to grow shift by shift, particularly at this time of the year as Arbolowski has it, tries to feather it in front. Hard, crisp pass, finds the tape of Arbolowski, who purposefully, easy for me to say, advances it into the corner. Couple of players battling for it. It is won by Kyle Lee. He gets it out of the zone. Pass by Myers trying to find Lee, can't quite connect. Dunn is the first one to get there, back by the net of Larson. He loses it, rather hands it off to Bauman. Bauman had Butson right there with him. No quit here in this Snow Kings squad, despite the frustrating scoreline. I imagine they will be fired up to earn a season, or a series split, I should say, tomorrow morning. Again, 9:45 expected puck drop. Taken back by Lee. Lee rifles this off the glass. It's kicked down by Arbolowski, held up and taken away by Powers. Powers brings it up ahead, drops it off over on the far side. A little indecisive there from Butson, who's shown a case of nice skills, some good shimmy skills tonight, but unable to get it going there. Butson, though, does exactly what I was just talking about. Evades one, evades two. Good patience by Butson, too, to work in tight areas, but also know when to kind of circle back and regroup in those tight areas. Here's Hen, who races and tracks this one down after playing it to himself. Edmonds, though, right there with him. Good job defensively, not giving Hen really anything to work with there. Caught up in Edmonds' skates right here. Nobody quite knows where it is. Here is Code, wrestles it away. Throws it in front. Save made by Fisher. Still loose, and he covers it up. Short looking on the back door. But with 1:05 to go, Fisher able to shut that door. Taken away by Pitzer. Pitzer gets up and gallops, loses his stick. And it's still advanced by Harris. Harris fires. Larson saves. Face off to the right of Skylar Larson, the Bend, Oregon native. Mentioned earlier the Bend Rapids here in town. The 10U and 12U teams, those teams not even around when Mr. Larson was a 10U and a 12U, but boy, are they around and in force now. It is so great to see how the hockey community has just grown at an amazing rate out in Bend, Oregon. Wish that rink was year-round there, as many people here in Eugene hope the same. There's a shot, by the way, save made. Still loose, puck kind of banging around on limbs in the low slot. But just to put a bow on that, just a big shout out to all of the countless volunteer and parents in the Bend area. Crowd clamoring for something. I'm not quite sure what they're so upset about here. Pitzer brings this out. This will be the last chance here. Final few ticks off the clock here. And that will do it here at the Rink Exchange. So Larson gets win number 4 on the season. The Generals get their first win of 2019. And they do it in impressive fashion. 9-3 is the final after Seattle took the opening lead 1-0, and after being tied at 1 goal apiece after 20 minutes of play. Second and third periods belonging solely to Eugene as they net the big 9-3 win in the series opener against Seattle. Certainly want to send our best wishes to Hunter Jenkins, who left the game earlier, and we hope he's okay. These two sides will again face off tomorrow morning, 9:45. Pregame pancake breakfast starts at 9 o'clock here at the Rink Exchange. You get all-you-can-eat pancakes for basically as many as until we run out of batter, as long as you pay for your game ticket. Of course, you can get your tickets at eugenegenerals.com or in person here at the Rink Exchange starting about an hour prior to puck drop, probably a little bit closer to 45 minutes, seeing as how tomorrow is a very early game. Again, huge thanks to Seattle for making the trip down. We wrap up this series tomorrow morning. And, of course, coverage will be here on EGHN. Broadcast will start at about 9:30 or so. And, again, with the game starting at 9:45. I know it was tense out there, but great seeing some smiles. Powers and Hen exchanging a couple of smiles and words after that one. Good smiles and good words. And we hope cooler heads can prevail here as we head into tomorrow. Again, sending our best sympathies to Hunter Jenkins. We'll try to keep you updated on that. Generals salute the crowd. It was a good one. It's filed out a little bit because, hey, it's a late one. But shout out to our Gens fan for showing up in force. Final score here at the Rink Exchange. The Generals 9, Seattle 3. We'll see you in about 12 hours here on EGHN.